So hey, Carrie, we just had the first part of July, and some of the weather has kind of changed from a rainy season to more of a dry season. What kind of toxins do you think we're going to see in the United States this year?
Well, I got to tell you, for the wheat, you've probably noticed here in our area in Washington, we're seeing a lot of the wheat harvest this week. Since we had so much rain, it was hard to get into the fields before that. But now that the wheat's coming out, we're kind of in a stage where we haven't seen lots of results. Some of the samples that have come in have been really good. We've had some that have been not so good. I think the freeze that happened in April, where we had 2 or 3 nights of really hard freeze, affected that, and so we'll see more of that. But you've always heard the term knee-high by the 4th of July.
I have.
Our corn is actually much farther along here. One of the things to do nationwide is to monitor the progress, whether it's tasseling or silking, and to look at the weather patterns that might be surrounding during that time of silking. I don't know if we've talked about this yet, Jordan, but this is the drought monitor for this week. And as you can see, I'm really concerned about the Dakotas. They have just been hit with so much drought and heat. As everybody has probably heard, we've had a lot of high temperatures in the Pacific Northwest, and as you know, hot, dry, we get aflatoxin.
Right. We're going to see some aflatoxin.
So those aren't as big of corn growing areas, but I think we'll still see some problems there. In a lot of the corn belt, our subsoil moisture and our topsoil moisture is actually very good for 4th of July. So, we could be looking at some fumonisin. That typically is hotter and wetter. So this year compared to last year, I think we're at a much wetter condition, and our overall silking stage here, right in our Midwest area, is a little bit behind. So we're in that point of nobody knows exactly what will happen during the anthesis because we're right in the middle of it. But if the corn belt right now gets a lot of heat, we're going to see some interesting things come harvest.
And is it possible to see aflatoxin and a little bit of fumonisin at the same time?
Absolutely. Last week we had really spotty rain here, and we've had times where here at the lab on our side of town, we've had a downpour, and 3 miles east of us, we've had nothing. So I think those times when we have what we call kind of a mixed bag of toxins are even more problematic. So you've seen some toxins that have been mixed in corn. You've got a corn that has...
Right, yeah, we've had corn that has afla, fumonisin, DON, and zearalenone in it, all at various levels. So we have seen quite a bit of that come through over the last couple of years.
The other thing to remember is that in the United States, the way that we grow, transport, and mix corn is just amazing. Those charts always amaze me, that you can get corn perhaps from the upper Midwest that might have DON in it, and as we get a mixture, it can get aflatoxin and fumonisin from various areas too. So it's never just one problem for the United States.
So Carrie, if you're a quality manager and you're dealing with a corn load that comes in from some area, what are some suggestions that you might have for them?
I always like to try to get as much information before the sample hits the door. So you try to look at things like the drought monitor and places where you think that that crop might be originating from.
Right.
But then also you want to be as prepared internally as you can. So we want to make sure that all of our testing is in place, that all of our technicians are completely trained with known samples. So they have the confidence too that they know running samples through the lab or on test kits, they can get a solid known answer every time they run. Those are huge.
Well, Carrie, that sounds really amazing. It's nice to look at some of these different monitors and really kind of maybe predict what we might see every year. So thank you for the time. Thank you for explaining this for me, and
we'll talk again.
Yeah, we'll talk again.